Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone. Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Как е, момичета?
Добре.
Супер сме.
Браво. Какво ще правите ваканцията?
Ще ходим на спа хотел.
Яко.
А ти някакви планове?
Ами аз сигурно ще работя.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Някакъв.
Some.
Какво?
What?
Добре.
Good. Okay. Well.
Браво.
Bravo.
Правя.
To do. To make.
Ходя.
To go. To walk.
План.
Plan.
Момиче.
Girl.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Как е, момичета?
Добре.
Супер сме.
Браво. Какво ще правите ваканцията?
Ще ходим на спа хотел.
Яко.
А ти някакви планове?
Ами аз сигурно ще работя.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Ох, днес беше уморителен ден.
Затова съм ти изготвила нещо вкусно.
Какво е това?
Що за въпрос? Може да си малко по-мил. Цял ден съм готвила.
Извинявай, много съм уморен. Прощавай. Какво си сготвила?
Пиле по-тиролски.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Уморителен.
Tiring.
Мил.
Kind.
Готвя.
To cook.
Цял.
Whole.
Уморен.
Tired.
Ден.
Day.
Вкусно.
Tasty. Delicious.
Пиле.
Chicken.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Ох, днес беше уморителен ден.
Затова съм ти изготвила нещо вкусно.
Какво е това?
Що за въпрос? Може да си малко по-мил. Цял ден съм готвила.
Извинявай, много съм уморен. Прощавай. Какво си сготвила?
Пиле по-тиролски.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back to school. I am your teacher Daria, and this is BulgarianPod101.com. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because, first of all, today's topic on BulgarianPod101.com is 10 words and phrases for surviving back to school. And second of all, that's why, because we're going back to school, I have my pigtails back, ponytail. So why? Because when I was a school kid, my mom used to send me off to school looking exactly like this. Maybe my hair was shorter. Great. Shall we start with the first word for surviving back to school?
Раница. Backpack.
Раница. Backpack. Раница. Backpack. Well, you can say раницата му е много тежка. Раницата му е много тежка. His backpack is very heavy, which is very common in Bulgarian schools to see a small little school kid with a huge backpack, so heavy, because we have ambitious Bulgarian teachers and they all require a textbook, a notebook, auxiliary materials, this, that, and so many other things. And when you have 6 of these subjects for today, you're basically carrying your home with you. I think the kid should be better with a suitcase, dragging it down, huh?
Съученик. Classmate.
So, guys, if you see 2 kids with 2 big backpacks, they are certainly съученици, classmates. Те са съученици. Те са съученици. They are classmates. These 2 boys, at least they can share the burden of the Bulgarian education system on their backs together. They say if you share it with a friend, it's less, it's half a burden. That's a Bulgarian saying. I don't know if it's applicable in this case, but it just lifts your spirit a little bit that you're not the only one in the world like this.
Домашна работа. Homework.
The next phrase for surviving back to school is, in case you have forgotten, домашна работа. Homework. За утре нямате никаква домашна работа. За утре нямате никаква домашна работа. You have no homework for tomorrow. What phrase is possibly better for a Bulgarian school kid or any school kid to hear from his or her teacher? Then no homework for tomorrow. Great. So if you are a teacher who is trying to learn Bulgarian with BulgarianPod101.com, I encourage you to use this phrase as much as possible. За утре нямате никаква домашна работа.
Изпит. Exam.
Изпит. Exam. That's an important one. Here is a sentence of how you can use изпит in a sentence. Подготви ли се за изпита? Подготви ли се за изпита? Did you prepare for the exam? Well, guys, there is no better way of stressing out a classmate of yours than to ask them if they have prepared for the exam before the exam. That reminds them that probably they still have something to study on, so will make them nervous. Use this phrase, especially if you're trying to sabotage people. In other occasions, use it after the exam has passed to ask what happened.
Лятна вакансия. Summer break.
So among the 10 words and phrases for surviving back to school, this one is one of my favorite ones. Лятна вакансия. Summer break. Yay! Woohoo! That's the most wonderful time of the year. If you think they're singing a song about Christmas, you are wrong. It was intended to be sung for the summer break of schools. Why? Why? Because this is truly the most wonderful time of the year for a student. And if you're wondering where your schoolmates are going, you can ask them this way. Къде ще ходиш през лятната вакансия? Къде ще ходиш през лятната вакансия? Where will you go for the summer break? Great. Some of the people will say they're going to the seaside, maybe the mountains, maybe summer camp, maybe they're not going to do anything at all. Back in my time, one of the most popular answers a Bulgarian student can give you would be, I'm going to my village, which means that I'm going to spend some time with grandmother and grandfather, who would teach me how to do all kind of village stuff. However, now that the grandparents have moved to the big city, people don't go to the villages as often as we used to. So we would go to a family vacation, sometimes abroad.
Училище. School.
Talking about surviving back to school phrases and words, it feels like I should give you the word for school. Училище. School. And here is an example of how you can use училище into a sentence. Училището е на 5 минути от дома им. Училището е на 5 минути от дома им. The school is 5 minutes away from their home. Lucky them, I would say, because these kids are the ones who will get to sleep in later, compared to all the rest of the school kids that live further away from the school and will have to wake up earlier. So good for you, living 5 minutes away only from the school. I used to live an hour away of my school. Boy, what a fun bus ride was that, though.
Кандидатствам. To apply.
So guys, I'm giving you a verb that you can put in the top top 10 words and phrases for surviving back to school. And this verb is кандидатствам, to apply. Yes, because this is going to happen at some point and you have to apply to change the school, to enter a university, and hopefully this is all successful. Here is an example. Той кандидатства и го приеха. Той кандидатства и го приеха. He applied and was accepted. Great, good job. And also, if he didn't apply, he wouldn't have gotten accepted. As simple as that. So please apply for everything in life.
Днес е първият учебен ден. It's the first day of class.
Okay, guys, next I'm gonna give you a very important phrase for surviving back to school. Are you ready? Remember, днес е първият учебен ден. Днес е първият учебен ден. Today it's the first day of class. It's very exciting. Yay! You know what? Actually, it's not very exciting because the more exciting part of the school year, it's the last day of class. Последен учебен ден. The last day of class. Go figure.
Ние сме в един и същи клас. We're in the same class.
So, let's imagine you're back to school and there is a new classmate that you don't know. And he or she is super sweet and super cute and you like to meet them. And all of a sudden you realize that ние сме в един и същи клас. Ние сме в един и същи клас. We are in the same class. Well, that may make things easier for you to get to know one another. Or it can make things very difficult for you and the person you have a crush on. Different people, different ways.
Приключи ли с домашното си? Did you finish your homework?
The next phrase I'm going to give you is actually a question. A question that I have heard my mom repeat so many times. And here it is. Приключи ли с домашното си? Приключи ли с домашното си? Did you finish your homework? I wish that I can tell you I replied with yes, I did, but not always. Actually, if the Bulgarian education system was more like the Finnish educational system, we wouldn't even have the need to ask this question about the homework because in Finland, apparently kids don't have homework and it works so much better for them. But just in case you're in Bulgaria, you can ask, приключи ли с домашното си? Hey, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching so far. It was a great pleasure for me to present this episode of BulgarianPod101.com to you. And also to present you 10 words and phrases for surviving back to school. I had fun. I hope you did too. My name is Daria and I'm gonna see you in the next episode of BulgarianPod101.com. You can subscribe to the channel and see when the next one is coming up. And also please leave me a comment down below saying which was and maybe still is your favorite subject in school. I told you mine was chemistry and biology, but maybe yours is something else. For more Bulgarian lessons, please visit BulgarianPod101.com and stay tuned until we see one another again. Bye! You can hear birds. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Okay.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Знаеш ли, трябва да си купя нови обувки за есента.
Ами хайде да ходим заедно до мола в петък.
След лекции?
Да, нали не може да отсъстваме.
Ама как не ми се стои до 5 часа?
Няма начин.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Купувам.
To buy.
Купувам. Купувам. Нов.
New.
Нов. Нов. Обувка.
Shoe.
Обувка. Обувка. Есен.
Autumn.
Есен. Есен. Ходя.
To go. To walk.
ходя, ходя, заедно,
Together.
заедно, заедно, петък,
Friday.
петък, петък, лекция,
Lecture.
лекция, лекция, отсъствам,
To be absent.
отсъствам, отсъствам, стоя,
To stay. To stand.
стоя, стоя.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Знаеш ли, трябва да си купя нови обувки за есента.
Ами хайде да ходим заедно до мола в петък.
След лекции?
Да, нали не може да отсъстваме?
Ама как не ми се стои до 5 часа?
Няма начин.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Ставай вече. 7:30 е.
Още 5 минути само.
Пак ще закъснееш.
Да.
Както искаш. Аз излизам за работа.
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Ставам,
To get up.
ставам, ставам. Половина,
Half.
половина, половина. Минута,
Minute.
минута, минута. Само,
Just. Only.
само, само. Закъснявам,
To be late.
закъснявам, закъснявам. Както,
As.
както, както. Искам,
To want. To wish.
искам, искам. Аз,
I.
аз, аз. Излизам,
To go out.
излизам, излизам. Работа,
Work. Job.
работа, работа.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Ставай вече. 7:30 е.
Още 5 минути само.
Пак ще закъснееш.
Да.
Както искаш. Аз излизам за работа.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Какво ще кажеш за тези?
Готин модел. Кой номер са?
36.
Не стават.
А ти кой номер носиш?
37.
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Модел.
Model.
Тези.
These.
Казвам.
To say.
Номер.
Number. Size.
Кой?
Who. Which.
Готин.
Cool.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Какво ще кажеш за тези?
Готин модел. Кой номер са?
36.
Не стават.
А ти кой номер носиш?
37.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Добър ден.
Добър ден! С какво мога да ви помогна?
Какви предложения имате за почивка в спа-хотел?
Зависи от периода на престоя и през кой сезон ще почивате.
Бихме искали да изкараме един уикенд през зимната ваканция.
Разбирам. Един момент.
И ако може спа-хотела да е 5 звезди.
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Почивам.
To rest.
Период.
Period.
Уикенд.
Weekend.
Разбирам.
To understand.
Завися.
To depend.
Изкарвам.
To spend time.
Звезда.
Star.
Момент.
Moment.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Добър ден.
Добър ден! С какво мога да ви помогна?
Какви предложения имате за почивка в спа-хотел?
Зависи от периода на престоя и през кой сезон ще почивате.
Бихме искали да изкараме един уикенд през зимната ваканция.
Разбирам. Един момент.
И ако може спа-хотела да е 5 звезди.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Супер оферта намерихме за спа хотела.
Да, хайде после да говорим.
Тишина, моля.
Извинете,
Кой ще отговори на въпроса, моля?
Аз.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
отговарям. Answer. Въпрос. Question. Хайде.
Come on, let's.
Супер.
Super. Great.
Говоря.
To speak. To talk.
Оферта.
Offer.
Тишина.
Silence.
Намирам.
To find.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Супер оферта намерихме за спа хотела.
Да, хайде после да говорим.
Тишина, моля.
Извинете,
Кой ще отговори на въпроса, моля?
Аз.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Уф, парите не ми стигат.
Нали получаваш стипендия?
Не и за този семестър.
Защо не потърсиш работа? Ако бях на твое място, щях да работя почасово някъде.
И без това не ми стига времето.
Значи трябва да ставаш по-рано. Ако бях на твое място, щях да ставам в 6.
Да, да.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
пари. Money. Почасов.
Hourly.
Семестър.
Semester.
Работя. Work. Стигам.
To last. To suffice.
Стипендия.
Scholarship.
Получавам. Receive. Ставам.
To get up.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Уф, парите не ми стигат.
Нали получаваш стипендия?
Не и за този семестър.
Защо не потърсиш работа? Ако бях на твое място, щях да работя почасово някъде.
И без това не ми стига времето.
Значи трябва да ставаш по-рано. Ако бях на твое място, щях да ставам в 6.
Да, да.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Добро утро. Съжалявам, че закъснях.
Добро утро. Моля, седнете на мястото си.
Благодаря.
Кирил винаги закъснява.
Нали?
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Добро утро.
Good morning.
Добро утро. Добро утро. Съжалявам.
To be sorry.
Съжалявам. Съжалявам. Че.
That.
Че. Че. Моля.
Please.
Моля. Моля. Сядам.
To sit.
Сядам. Сядам. Място.
Seat. Place.
Място. Място. Благодаря.
Thank you.
Благодаря. Благодаря. Винаги.
Always.
Винаги. Винаги. Нали.
Right.
Нали. Нали.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Добро утро. Съжалявам, че закъснях.
Добро утро. Моля, седнете на мястото си.
Благодаря.
Кирил винаги закъснява.
Нали?
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Какво ще правиш през зимната ваканция?
Смятам да се запиша на курс по испански език.
Така ли? Аз пък искам да отида на екскурзия.
Къде искаш да ходиш?
Не съм решила още.
Искам и аз на екскурзия.
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Отивам.
To go.
Курс.
Course.
Записвам се.
To join. To sign up for.
Решавам.
To decide.
Къде?
Where.
Ваканция.
Vacation.
Екскурзия.
Trip.
Зимен.
Winter.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Какво ще правиш през зимната ваканция?
Смятам да се запиша на курс по испански език.
Така ли? Аз пък искам да отида на екскурзия.
Къде искаш да ходиш?
Не съм решила още.
Искам и аз на екскурзия.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Тате, ще ми помогнеш ли за малко за този проект?
За домашно ли е?
Това не е домашно, а проект. Нали вече съм студент?
Колко бързо минава времето.
Тате, ще ми помогнеш ли или не?
Да.
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Pomagam. To help. Pomagam. Pomagam. Малко. A little. Малко. Малко. Проект. Project. Проект. Проект. Домашно. Homework. Домашно. Домашно. Студент. University student. Студент. Студент. Бързо. Fast. Бързо. Бързо. Минавам. Pass. Минавам. Минавам. Време. Time. Време. Време.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Тате, ще ми помогнеш ли за малко за този проект?
За домашно ли е?
Това не е домашно, а проект. Нали вече съм студент?
Колко бързо минава времето.
Тате, ще ми помогнеш ли или не?
Да.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.
Listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Еленке, я кажи, ти инсталирала ли си нещо на компютъра?
Не съм.
Ами защо играта, която винаги играя, не може да стартира?
Не знам, Ники.
Кой може да знае? Кирил, разбира се.
Now you will hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Казвам.
To say.
Казвам. Казвам. Ти.
You.
Ти. Ти. Инсталирам.
To install.
Инсталирам. Инсталирам. Компютър.
Computer.
Компютър. Компютър. Игра.
Game. Play.
Игра. Игра. Играя.
To play.
Играя. Играя. Стартирам.
To start. To run.
Стартирам. Стартирам. Знам.
To know.
Знам. Знам. Разбира се.
Of course.
Разбира се. Разбира се.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Еленке, я кажи, ти инсталирала ли си нещо на компютъра?
Не съм.
Ами защо играта, която винаги играя, не може да стартира?
Не знам, Ники.
Кой може да знае? Кирил, разбира се.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Okay, hi everyone! How are you today? I'm your host Daria, and this is an episode of BulgarianPod101.com. Maybe one of the most important episodes because it gives you the top 25 Bulgarian phrases that they are. I mean, these are key phrases that you need to start a conversation, to introduce yourself, to say the basic phrases of every language. So, if you want to be 25 Bulgarian phrases ahead of the rest of the people who don't know those, grab a pen and a notebook and let's start.
Здравей. Здравей. Hello.
How to start? How should we start? I think there's no better way to start but to say здравей. Zdravei. Hello. Well, hello everyone. Zdravei is like an informal way to say it. You can say здравейте, the formal one. Also plural, yeah. You can say здравейте to multiple people. And also if you hear that some Bulgarian people say zdrasti, zdrasti, this is the short version of hello. Just hi.
Добро утро. Добро утро. Good morning.
How do you usually start the day? If you see somebody, you would greet them with Добро утро. Добро утро. Good morning. This phrase I love a lot because of the vibration of it. Добро утро. Practice your R's in this phrase. Also, I like to use it because we're one step ahead of our southern neighbors, the Greek people, who don't even have a phrase for good morning. They just start from Kalimera, which is the day. I don't know why nobody celebrates the morning over there. We do.
Добър ден. Добър ден. Good afternoon.
Moving on later in the day. Добър ден. Добър ден. Good afternoon. Now, here's a tricky part because it may be 10 a.m. in the morning, but you can hear a Bulgarian saying добър ден, which literally is good afternoon, but we use it more as good day to you. So remember it, добър ден.
Лека нощ. Лека нощ. Good night.
When you go to bed, you would hear a Bulgarian person wishing you leka noșt. Leka noșt. This is good night. Good night, good night. I remember a song from my childhood. There was a television show just before the little kids would go to bed. And the show was called Leka noșt deța. Good night, children. Deța. And it was about a character named Sâncho. Sâncho, which is like a sleepy boy. Anyway, memories from my childhood. Moving on.
Как се казваш? Как се казваш? What's your name?
Now that you've learned how to greet people according to the part of the day your encounter is happening, how to properly introduce yourself? You can ask them for their name. Как се казваш? Как се казваш? This is pretty much asking what's your name. You can also make it plural or formal by saying те at the end. Как се казва те? What is your name formal? And how do we reply to that?
Аз съм Майя. Аз съм Майя. I'm Maya.
Аз съм Дария. Аз съм Дария. Аз съм Дария. This is a way of saying I am Daria. And what do we usually add after that, after we introduce our name?
Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Nice to meet you.
Usually after we say our name, we would add. Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Right? It's very simple. Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Nice to meet you. Now, you can just use the first part of this phrase, which is приятно ми е. It's nice. That's pretty much enough for Bulgarian. But if you want to sound more like a true Bulgarian, you gotta say приятно ми е да се запознаем.
Как си? Как си? How are you?
Как си? Как си? How are you? This is a classic question you can ask anybody, and it's a door opener, by the way. I've heard it use it quite a lot in the US or other countries. However, please, I beg of you, when you ask как си, really show interest and really mean it. Как си?
Благодаря, добре. А ти? Благодаря, добре. А ти? I'm fine, thanks. And you?
And usually there is the answer. Благодаря, добре. А ти? Благодаря, добре. А ти? Literally, I'm fine, thank you. And how about you? Благодаря, добре. Благодаря, добре. А ти? I'm fine, thanks. And you? Literally, благодаря is thank you, добре is good. Thank you, good. А ти and you. You can juggle with that, or you can say how you really feel. You may be moody, you may be happy, you may be anxious. So you can add whatever you like in that little phrase. Благодаря, добре. Благодаря, не добре.
Моля. Моля. Please.
Моля. Моля. It's a very important word because it shows politeness. It shows good intention. This is the Bulgarian word for please. Please. Also, moля means I beg you, I beg of you. But you can also add it to any sentence if you would like to request something. And we'll see later on how to use моля.
Благодаря. Благодаря. Thank you.
The next word is a very important one because it shows gratitude. Благодаря. Благодаря. One word. It means thank you. But the root of the word is благо, which is all the best things or the nice things. Даря, I'm gifting them to you. Like nice things I'm giving. So you can say благодаря. But also for people who don't feel confident in saying this long word in Bulgarian, it's fine for you to use the French merci, because we've stolen that one in our language.
Пак заповядай. Пак заповядай. You're welcome.
And usually if you say благодаря, you can say right afterwards Пак заповядай. Пак заповядай. You are welcome. And you have the nicest of nicest things in your relationship with the person you have just met. Nice base to work on from then on.
Да. Yes.
Here are the two most important words to reply a yes and no question, which are the words yes and no. Da in Bulgarian means yes.
Не. No.
Ne in Bulgarian means no. But don't confuse it with the type of nodding, because all over the world, this means da and this means ne. But only in Bulgaria, it's vice versa. So this would mean no, and this would mean yes. Not ne, da. Why? I can't even tell you. I can't. Some psychology thing, sociology, I don't know.
Добре. Okay.
Remember the phrase that we've used before? Благодаря, добре. Replying to, how are you feeling today? Good, thank you. Good. This is the word добре. Добре. This means okay in Bulgarian, and it's okay to use it as much as possible, just because of the good vibration of it. Добре, добре.
Извинете. Извинете. Excuse me.
Another of the top 25 Bulgarian phrases that everybody should know is извинете. Извинете. Excuse me. Yes, people should learn how to use this word as much as possible because, first of all, Bulgarian people rarely use it. Why? If they step on your foot or they push you or punch you, do something horrible to you, they would say, Opa. They may even crush your car and they will say, Opa, which literally is oops. They would not say, excuse me, I apologize, and they would just go away. Yeah, because we are such people. But really, a lot of people say opa. Opa, which is, I think it's a Greek word as well. Opa. Opa! Opa, hey. Okay.
Съжалявам. Съжалявам. I'm sorry.
Another good word to use is съжалявам. Съжалявам. Now, this means I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, but a lot of people find difficulty pronouncing the... Now I'm having difficulty speaking. Pronouncing the in the beginning, because we have this sound. The Brazilian people would understand perfectly what I'm talking about because they have this sound. But if you don't, stress on съжалявам. Съжалявам. It actually makes your body feel good after you say it. So I'm sorry. Use it as much as you can.
Колко е часът? Колко е часът? What time is it?
So you're walking the streets of Sofia or Plovdiv, and you have a meeting with a local person to show you around. You've agreed to meet at 2 o'clock somewhere, but you don't have a watch. The battery on your phone is dead, so there is no way for you to know is it 2 o'clock already or not. Here is a way to ask for it. Колко е часът? Колко е часът? What's the time? Usually, as an answer, you would get just a number. 2, 2 часа, 3 часа, 4, and it's useful if you know the Bulgarian numbers.
Къде е тоалетната? Къде е тоалетната? Where is the restroom?
Another very useful phrase, which is definitely among the top 25 Bulgarian phrases you should know, is this one. Къде е туалетната? Къде е туалетната? The double O. Okay, where is the restroom? I don't know why I feel saying that learning this will open a lot of doors for you. Hopefully it will open a lot of doors for you and you don't have to wait in front of the restroom. But in Bulgaria, there are a lot of public restrooms around, or you can use any cafe or restaurant for this. And literally, you can just say toilet and they'll understand you because toilet, toaletna. Very similar.
Изчакайте за момент. Изчакайте за момент. Wait a moment.
Here's another phrase. If you hear somebody say изчакайте за момент, изчакайте за момент. They usually mean wait a moment. I hope you don't hear this in front of the restroom door, but in case that happens, you know that you have to wait. Hey, sometimes in life you have to wait for the good things to come and to happen to you.
Колко струва това? Колко струва това? How much is this?
So you've had a wonderful day sightseeing and you've met the local person and then you enter a souvenir shop. But in the souvenir shop there is no price announced. Now, if that happens, you can ask, колко струва това? Колко струва това? How much is this? And again, they'll give you a number as an answer. So it's always handy and good to learn the Bulgarian numbers first.
Помощ. Помощ. Help.
If you need help, ask for it. You can say помощ. Помощ. Help. Yell it as loud as you can. Помощ. Помощ. It's a funny thing that we Bulgarians have been exposed so much to Western movies that almost everybody would know the English version of помощ, which is help. However, you will sound like a true Bulgarian if you learn помощ.
До скоро. До скоро. See you later.
We are almost towards the end. It seems proper that I give you 2 phrases of how to part with people. So bear with me. До скоро. До скоро means see you later.
Довиждане. Довиждане. Goodbye.
Another word would be довиждане. Довиждане. Goodbye. And don't be afraid to use the Italian ciao because it's so short and so easy and everybody uses it. And this is another foreign word that we have stolen and claimed in our Bulgarian language.
Не знам. Не знам. I don't know.
Не знам. Не знам. This is a way of saying I don't know. And in my personal opinion, this phrase can get you out of almost any situation. Whatever they ask you, you just say не знам, and you can add български at the end of that sentence. For example, не знам български. And that will be enough for the people to leave you alone. If you do know Bulgarian, which you do by watching BulgarianPod101.com, you can just say знам. I know. Bulgarski. Bulgarian. Знам български. I know Bulgarian. Great! Seems like we've reached the end of this episode of BulgarianPod101.com, and you now know the top 25 Bulgarian phrases everybody should know. Great! That's amazing. I'm proud of you. And by the way, for more Bulgarian, click subscribe here under this video. Leave me a comment about which of this you would say to a stranger, or go to BulgarianPod101.com for more lessons in Bulgarian. I'm your host, Daria, and I can't wait until I meet you next time. Until then, do skoro! Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of BulgarianPod101.com, the best way to learn Bulgarian language, with your host here, Daria. Today, I'm eager to share with you 10 questions you should know. And why have I picked those? You'll see why. Here is some explanation at the end of every question and sample answer you're gonna get. So if you are ready to start, let's go!
Как се казвате? Как се казвате? What's your name?
Here is the first question. Как се казвате? Как се казвате? What's your name? Great. Pay attention that казвате is actually formal way to say, to ask for somebody's name. Казвате. The informal way and first person of the verb казвам се is казваш. Как се казваш? You can ask this to somebody you feel familiar with. How to reply? Very simple. Казвам се Дария. Казвам се Дария. My name is Daria. Very simple. And you can also say аз съм Дария. I am Daria. Various name. You can even forget the verb part and just reply with your name. As simple as that.
Как сте? Как сте? How are you?
The next question you should know actually logically follows the first one. Как сте? Как сте? How are you? Right after you ask for somebody's name, let's ask, how do they feel? Again, with this one, remember that как сте is a formal way to ask a person. Or you can ask multiple persons, multiple people, personas. Okay, great. Как сте turns into как си. This is the informal way of asking, how are you? And how do you reply? Here is a sample. Добре съм, благодаря. Добре съм, благодаря. I'm fine, thank you. It's a good thing to add the благодаря at the end. It really gives a hint that you are a human being. I encourage you to use благодаря as often as you can, because in my culture we don't get to use it a lot.
Откъде си? Откъде си? Where are you from?
Great! Now that you have found out what's the person's name and how do they feel, you can ask them. Откъде си? Откъде си? Where are you from? And a possible answer to this could be от София. От Sofia. From Sofia. You can change the location and turn it into Plovdiv, Varna, Russe, Burgas, or whatever town you are from. But this is how you can ask a Bulgarian person. Откъде си? Where are you from?
Кога е рожденият ти ден? Кога е рожденият ти ден? When is your birthday?
Another question I really like to ask people because I'm so interested in astrology that I would like right away to know everybody's zodiac sign. Maybe that makes me a little bit prejudiced, but hey, I bond with some signs and some not, so I have to watch out for those people. So I will ask, кога е рожденият ти ден? Кога е рожденият ти ден? When is your birthday? It's a phrase that needs a little bit of practice because of a lot of je, de sounds, but you'll get to it very quickly, I am sure. And how do you reply to that? If you don't want to give away your birthday, you can just reply by giving your month of birth. For example, I'm born in February, so I would answer през февруари. През февруари. It's very similar to February. Februari. Just a little bit of a trick over there in pronunciation, but that means in February. And I indeed was born in February. This makes me an Aquarius.
Къде живееш? Къде живееш? Where do you live?
So, after you've learned the person's birthday, but before you ask them straight for their bank account number, you can ask them this. Къде живееш? Къде живееш? Where do you live? And, of course, they will try to get around the answer. So, you may get an answer like this. Живея с приятели. Живея с приятели. I live with friends. Of course, this means leave me alone and don't ask me any more questions, please. But hey, it's better to live with friends, by the way, than with your family. It shows up that you are taking responsibility for your adult life. So great that you're living with friends.
Къде работиш? Къде работиш? Where do you work?
One of the favorite questions somebody would ask you, of course, because they try, to figure out what social class you belong to or how much money you make. Of course, they would ask you this. Къде работиш? Къде работиш? Where do you work? To which you can, of course, create your own story if you don't like to deal with nosy people. But if you truly would like to answer honestly, tell wherever you work. But here is a way of saying it. В една туристическа агенция. В една туристическа агенция. I think you almost thought of what exactly this means in English, and it means in a travel agency, in a tourist agency. Yes. So if you work, for example, in a bank, you can say в една банка, or if you don't work at all, you can say I am a happy person.
Какъв е телефонният ти номер? Какъв е телефонният ти номер? What's your phone number?
Some people would like to know a lot of things about you, so they may ask you, какъв е телефонният ти номер? Какъв е телефонният ти номер? What's your phone number? Of course, if it's a very important business connection, you would give your phone number to this person that you're talking to. However, if it's just a random person who is trying to interfere in your life, this is how you reply. Предпочитам да не го давам на непознати. Предпочитам да не го давам на непознати. I prefer not giving it to strangers. I think that you would agree with me on this one.
Къде сте учили български език? Къде сте учили български език? Where did you learn Bulgarian?
Great, guys! So, you're in a party with Bulgarian people and you are impressing them with the Bulgarian language you've already learned, so it's natural that somebody should ask you, къде сте учили български език? Къде сте учили български език? Where have you learned Bulgarian? Great, so be prepared for this question. So when this question comes, here's how you answer. На летен лагер в Родопите. На летен лагер в Родопите. My favorite mountain, Родопи. This literally translates as in a summer camp in the Rodopi Mountains. Great! This is a good way to learn Bulgarian right over there. Another good way is to comment on this channel. I learned Bulgarian with BulgarianPod101.com. And if somebody asks you, къде сте учили български? You can say, BulgarianPod101.com, which literally is our name with the S in the front.
Харесвате ли българската кухня? Харесвате ли българската кухня? Do you like Bulgarian food?
And of course, a conversation with a Bulgarian person would not be complete without them asking you about our food. How do you find it? So, a Bulgarian person may ask you, харесвате ли българската кухня? Харесвате ли българската кухня? Do you like Bulgarian food? What do you think the answer should be? Please never tell a Bulgarian person you don't like the Bulgarian cuisine. Even if you don't like it, we take pride in everything that is Bulgarian for some reason. So also this is a very good shortcut to insult a Bulgarian. Tell them you don't like their food. However, for the purposes of making friendship, here is how you should answer the question. Абсолютно обожавам я. Абсолютно обожавам я. Definitely yes. I love it. You love it and they will love you for loving it.
Били ли сте в България? Били ли сте в България? Have you been to Bulgaria?
The next question may come into conversation if you are outside of Bulgaria, somewhere, and you meet Bulgarian people or anybody who would like to ask about our country. So the question would be, били ли сте в България? Били ли сте в Bulgaria? Have you been to Bulgaria? And in case this conversation is not happening in my country, you can reply, не, никога, но много бих искала. Не, никога, но много бих искала. This means no, never, but I would like to very much. However, pay attention that this phrase, много бих искала, I would like to very much, is only if you are a female saying it. If you are a male saying it, you should say, много бих искал. So there is just one letter difference, but it makes the whole change of gender over there. And so this is the end of today's episode of BulgarianPod101.com. You've learned 10 questions you should know in Bulgarian language. For more, go to BulgarianPod101.com and also subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with the next episode with your host, Daria. I love sharing all kind of facts with you about my country, sometimes with a little bit of humor. I hope you don't mind that, and I will try to do that in the next episode. Until we see one another again, you can leave something in the comment section for me to read. Довиждане и благодаря. Goodbye and thank you. Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome to a new episode of Bulgarian Pod101.com. I'm your host Daria, and today I'm going to walk you through 10 phrases you always want to hear. So, are you ready to start complimenting other people? Let's go!
Изглеждаш страхотно днес. Изглеждаш страхотно днес. You look great today.
Now, it's something that I would like to point your attention on. It's the word strachotno, which is literally translated as scary, by the way, because it derives from the word strashno, which is scary. So Bulgarians use it in a way of saying great, but it's funny how it sounds when you think about it. You look scary today. And it sounds such a normal thing to say in Bulgarian, by the way. So use it everywhere you go. You look wonderful today. You look great today. Изглеждаш страхотно днес.
Липсваш ми. Липсваш ми. I miss you.
Yes, this is something either say too rarely or we do say excessively. I do encourage everybody to find a balance in it, and this comes from meaning it from your heart. I am gonna miss you until the next episode. Ще ми липсвате.
Свърши чудесна работа. Свърши чудесна работа. You did a great job.
Yes, I do believe that if somebody hears this phrase more often, they're not only gonna be flattered, but they will improve their work overall. Свърши чудесна работа.
Ще има бонус в края на месеца. Ще има бонус в края на месеца. There will be a bonus at the end of the month.
Is definitely what everybody would like to hear if they have done a good job. Even if they have not done a good job, it will make them do a better job. Because imagine if you're doing something for many years and you don't receive any kind of appreciation for that. Not even a single small thing. So the bonus is definitely something you should use to make somebody do better work.
Ти готвиш превъзходно. Ти готвиш превъзходно. You're an excellent cook.
Yes, everybody would like to hear that, even though sometimes you may burn the dish, but your friends are there to support you, so they may be saying, oh, as if they're mocking you. Ти си превъзходен готвач. Ти готвиш превъзходно. You are an exceptional cook. Well, the more you burn dishes, I know, the better you become as a cook, so please never stop cooking.
Почини си. Аз ще почистя днес. Почини си. Аз ще почистя днес. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today.
Opens the heart and the doors to every mother's heart. Guaranteed, proof read and checked and all that.
И вие печелите. И вие печелите. And you win.
I specifically think that if you invest the money you spend on scratch tickets into something else, you are on the winning side of spending your money. For sure.
Ти беше прав. Ти беше прав. You were right.
Why is it so hard to admit something like that? I don't know. Maybe because Bulgarian people, they think they know everything about everything. From science to sport to politics to anything. So please say it, even though people are not right.
Нося ти нещо специално. Нося ти нещо специално. I brought you something special.
It is very intriguing and exciting to hear something like that, isn't it? Unless this special something is a cat. And there you can bid farewell to your living room couch.
Бюджетът е неограничен. Бюджетът е неограничен. The budget is unlimited.
Can you imagine a world where there is no money or there is a budget but it's unlimited? What are the things that everybody can do? Everybody can accomplish their dreams no matter how far-fetched are they. You can even go to the end of the universe if there is such. So, unlimited budget, unlimited dreams. Make it happen. I am leaving you for now because we have come to the end of this episode of BulgarianPod101.com. However, I'm looking forward to our next episode. Until then, please let me know which of these 10 phrases you always want to hear you like the best, or is there anything you would like to hear personally so I can translate it for you? Add it in the comment section below this video, and also find where the red button is, somewhere over here. I forgot where it is. It's a red button that says subscribe. Subscribe for this channel to get more videos like this, and we're gonna see each other again in the next linguistic adventure. Until then, check the website BulgarianPod101.com for more lessons in Bulgarian. I'm your host Daria, and I'll see you very soon. Hi guys, how is it going? Welcome to another episode of BulgarianPod101.com with me, Daria, your host. Today I have prepared for you something very interesting because the topic of this lesson is 10 phrases you never want to hear. And even though you may not want to hear them, you will have to hear them now in this episode if you would like to learn how to speak a better Bulgarian language. It's not so bad, and most of them are universal. You don't want to hear them anywhere. Even if it's Australia or Burkina Faso, probably. So some of them, I'll give you some more insight about why it's good or not good to hear them in my home country, Bulgaria. So let's go.
Не си ли качила малко килограми напоследък? Не си ли качила малко килограми напоследък? Have you gained weight recently?
One of the worst phrases that nobody wants to hear is this. Не си ли качила малко килограми напоследък? Не си ли качила малко килограми напоследък? Have you gained weight recently? Not a very good thing to hear, especially if you're a woman. That's why the sentence or the phrase has the feminine inclination in it. So, качила. You can also try to say to a guy, не си ли качил малко килограми напоследък? But I think for a guy, that's not the worst thing they never want to hear. Because, guys, we women are a little more touchy about the subject of weight.
Имаш няколко бели косама. Имаш няколко бели косама. You have a gray hair.
Another phrase you may not want to hear, and then again, this is very subjective, and I'll tell you why, is this phrase. Имаш няколко бели косама. Имаш няколко бели косама. you have a gray hair. And pay attention that in the Bulgarian version of the sentence, the color of the hair is white, beli kosama. And then it translates as gray hair in English, which is siv kosam, gray hair. But if you tell somebody, oh, you have white hair, imaš няколко beli kosama, I've heard this reply and I love saying it back to people. Oh, it's okay that I have white hair. It's my transitioning into a white swan. So there you go again, subjective. It may be the worst thing you hear. It may be not so bad after all. Moving on to the next phrase.
Нали ти казах? Нали ти казах? I told you so.
The next phrase is нали ти казах? Нали ти казах? I told you so. Yes, in the egocentric society that we live nowadays, in the 21st century, this is a very common phrase. And of course, everybody likes to say it and nobody likes to hear it. So, it probably helps if you don't speak well Bulgarian that if somebody told you нали ти казах, you will just pass through your ear and go the other way. But you can use this phrase yourself if you want to tease somebody.
Уволнен си. Уволнен си. You are fired.
Again, a phrase you don't want to hear is уволнен си. Уволнен си. You are fired. Of course, if you love your job, that's the worst thing you want to hear. The last thing you want to hear is уволнен си. However, it may make somebody extremely happy that they're finally fired. Because soon they'll be hired, that's what it's on my mind. When one door closes, another one opens. Such as the blow of the universe.
Причината не е в теб, а в мен. Причината не е в теб, а в мен. It's not you, it's me.
Moving on to the next phrase that you don't want to hear. Причината не е в теб, а в мен. Причината не е в теб, а в мен. It's not you, it's me. What are your associations when you hear this, right? You never trust this sentence because it implies that it's actually you that have the fault. The fault is on you, the guilt. But you don't have to worry about hearing this in Bulgaria because nobody will say it this way. They will directly say, it's your fault. So it's you, it's not me.
Благодарим за вашето резюме. Позицията обаче вече е заета. Благодарим за вашето резюме. Позицията обаче вече е заета. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled.
Let's say that you are looking for a job and you have found that pretty good position. It reflects everything you wanted. The work hours, the location of the job, the pay, everything is perfect and you have applied with your resume, but instead you hear this phrase. Благодарим за вашето резюме. Позицията обаче вече е заета. Благодарим за вашето резюме. Позицията обаче вече е заета. Thank you for your resume. The position, however, has been filled. Yes, that's definitely something you never want to hear if you are applying to your dream job. But then again, when one door closes, another one opens, and maybe there is something better around the corner even than your dream job.
Трябва да се срещаме и с други хора. Трябва да се срещаме и с други хора. We should see other people as well.
The next phrase is something you never want to hear from your partner in life. Трябва да се срещаме и с други хора. Трябва да се срещаме и с други хора. We should see other people as well. Which means that maybe your partner is not into you, or maybe they have changed their philosophy from a monogamous to a polygamous point of view. Hey, no judging here. Everybody's free to say what they want, but in case you are a monogamous type, this is the last thing you want to hear from your partner.
Не мога да ти върна парите днес. Не мога да ти върна парите днес. I don't have your money today.
If you had lent some money to somebody, this is definitely the phrase you don't want to hear from them. Не мога да ти върна парите днес. Не мога да ти върна парите днес. I don't have your money today. It's okay if you hear this phrase for the first time from your friend. Because you know what happens, they may have forgotten or they may be in a difficult situation, so today is not the day. However, if you hear this phrase, не мога да ти върна парите днес, for a fifth time within a couple of months, then you should start worrying. Because this friend may never pay you back, unfortunately. There are people like that, they just never pay back.
Трябва да поговорим за нещо. Трябва да поговорим за нещо. We need to talk.
Next comes a phrase that nobody wants to hear. And when they hear the phrase, people usually are so afraid, paralyzed, and full with anxiety that they try to avoid the following event of the phrase. Here is the phrase. Трябва да поговорим за нещо. Трябва да поговорим за нещо. We need to talk. Now, even though this is a phrase that nobody wants to hear because they're afraid that something bad will be discussed, or this is the end of the relationship, or the school principal will tell the parents something bad about their son or daughter in school, hey, hold on. It's not the end of the world. And it's actually better if we go on and discuss hard problems instead of just avoiding them. So no need to feel anxious or afraid when somebody tells you that. Just go for it and overcome it, like a true warrior.
Извинявай, забравих. Извинявай, забравих. Sorry, I forgot.
The next phrase is not as bad as the other phrases we've covered until now, but still, if it concerns your birthday and it's your best friend or your partner, it's kind of a bummer to hear it. Извинявай, забравих. Извинявай, забравих. Sorry, I forgot. Well, you can always count on your mom, by the way, that you'll never forget anything, especially your birthday. So there you go. You have one person who will never pronounce this. And here comes the end of this week's episode of BulgarianPod101.com. In this episode, we've covered 10 phrases you never want to hear. Maybe some of them are useful, maybe some of them are not. Please let me know what is the phrase that you never want to hear in the comment section below this video. For more episodes like this one, please click subscribe, but also visit BulgarianPod101.com for more lessons in Bulgarian. I am your host, Daria, and for me, it's a great pleasure to bring you these episodes. I hope you're having fun with me. Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!
Hi everyone, this is Daria, your host of BulgarianPod101.com, and welcome to this video of learning Bulgarian with this platform, BulgarianPod101.com. And today, since I'm dreaming about summer and I dressed in so many colors, I would like to give you 10 things to do in the summer in Bulgaria. Are you ready? Get some sunblock. And let's go. Summer, summer, summertime.
Пътувам в чужбина. Пътувам в чужбина. To travel abroad.
If you ask a random Bulgarian of how he or she would prefer to spend his or her time in the summer, he or she will probably answer, go abroad. Пътувам в чужбина. To travel abroad. Well, yeah, there's something in our culture that now that we can travel more freely, now that we're in the European Union, we do take advantage of visiting Italy, Greece, and so on and so forth. It's just so easy because it's right there. However, many other people do not travel or have never been outside the frontier, like my grandmother. Моята баба никога не е пътувала в чужбина. Моята баба никога не е пътувала в чужбина. My grandma has never traveled abroad. Which is somewhat true about my grandmother because she constantly watches this travel channel, and if I call her on a random day and ask her, hey grandma, how you doing today? She would reply, hey, I've been to Mexico and Guatemala in Costa Rica this afternoon. How about you? Well, Grandma, this may count, but you don't have magnets from the places you've been. Haha. So, Daria, grandmother, 1-0.
Почивам си на плажа. Почивам си на плажа. To relax at the beach.
Another popular response you may get from a Bulgarian about their free time in the summer would definitely be go to the beach. But not just go, relax on the beach. Почивам си на плажа. To relax at the beach. Here's an example of this phrase in a sentence. Истинската почивка е когато си почивам на плажа. Истинската почивка е когато си почивам на плажа. It's a true holiday when I'm relaxing on the beach. This is true for so many people. And by the way, you can be very sure that you can have a relaxing vacation in Bulgaria because we don't have sharks in the Black Sea. There you go.
Уча български език с BulgarianPod101.com. Уча български език с BulgarianPod101.com. To learn Bulgarian with BulgarianPod101.com.
Another use of your time in the summer is to do something practical and to get a new skill. Improving your skills is something very important, like уча български език с BulgarianPod101, like you're doing right now. Уча български език с BulgarianPod101. To learn Bulgarian with BulgarianPod101. And the next example in a sentence is a tribute to you, the viewers. Можете да научите български език с BulgarianPod101.com. Можете да научите български език с BulgarianPod101.com. You can learn Bulgarian language with BulgarianPod101.com. Yes, it's as simple as that. Just subscribe and keep on watching videos like this. By the way, you're gonna learn a lot of fun facts about Bulgaria in this one. Stay with me.
Уча се да готвя български ястия. Уча се да готвя български ястия. To learn to cook Bulgarian food.
Уча се да готвя български ястия. Уча се да готвя български ястия. To learn
to cook Bulgarian food. Oh, definitely this is something very important, especially for my friend who recently got married, and I'm gonna say why it was very important for her to learn how to cook moussaka. First, let me give you the example with this. Тя иска да се научи да готви български ястия. Тя иска да се научи да готви български ястия. It's a very simple sentence. Here's it in English. She wants to learn how to cook Bulgarian food. Why did she want to do that? Because in Bulgarian culture, we have the saying, if a woman does not know how to cook a proper moussaka, then she is not eligible for marriage yet. So one way to look for a wife, test her cooking skills.
Организирам барбекю. Организирам барбекю. To have a barbecue.
Organizirам barbecue. To have barbecue. Yes, you may not be a sophisticated cook as my friend to cook a whole dish of moussaka or kapama, but barbecue is much simpler and it gives you the benefit to be outside, to cook delicious food and to share it with as many friends as you have. So here's an example of how to use this phrase in Bulgarian. В неделя ще организираме барбекю. В неделя ще организираме барбекю. We will organize a barbecue on Sunday. By the way, here's a bonus to this phrase. I'm going to give you the Bulgarian word for barbecue, which is skara. So with skara, every day is a Sunday here in Bulgaria. Welcome. Every day is a skara day.
Купонясвам цяла нощ. Купонясвам цяла нощ. To party all night.
Our next phrase is about partying, because that's one of the best things you can do in the summer in Bulgaria, apparently. You just go to the seaside or in a big city club or something like that and купонясвам цяла нощ. To party all night. Here is how you can use the phrase in Bulgarian. Той купонясва цяла нощ с приятели. Той купонясва цяла нощ с приятели. He partied all night with friends. And I'll tell you who this he is. It's my friend George in the example that fits perfectly for him. Because he once said to me, I may be 70 years old, but I'll never stop partying. He may be either exaggerating or there is a true thread there that he may be a vampire. Forever young, I wanna be a vampire. All right.
Получавам загар. Получавам загар. To get a tan.
So summertime is connected to beach time, and of course, what can you do at the beach? You may think of multiple answers to that question, but if you ask a Bulgarian person, they would say получавам загар, to get a tan. Yes, that's undoubtedly the most favorite thing a Bulgarian person would do at the beach, especially if it's a Bulgarian woman. I have no idea why, but you can recognize a Bulgarian chick at the beach because she would not be swimming, she would not be sandcastle building, and she would not be engaging in sport activities, water activities at all. She would be just lying on the sand, suntanning. Yes, and here's an example how you can use this in a sentence. Той беше на Малдивите през зимата и е получил загар. Той беше на Малдивите през зимата и е получил загар. He was in the Maldives in the winter and he got a tan. Well, good for him. He may not be a Bulgarian woman, but Bulgarian men are also They also have vanity about the way they look.
Отивам на разходка в планината. Отивам на разходка в планината. To go hiking.
The next phrase I'm going to suggest about things to do in Bulgaria in the summer is my favorite one because I'm a mountain girl and that's where you can find me during the summer. Hiking. Отивам на разходка в планината. To go hiking. Yes, and if you want to use this in a sentence, here's how you can say it. Много хора отиват на разходка в планината през почивните дни. Много хора отиват на разходка в планината през почивните дни. This is how you say that many people go hiking in the mountains during the weekend. Not only during the weekend, but during the summertime, I will tell you which is the most popular hiking road in Bulgaria. It's the Emine Trail, which runs from the most western part of Bulgaria, goes straight to the most eastern part, which is Cape Emine. So from Peak Com to Cape Emine. It's about 700 kilometers and it will take you 20 days to walk through it. But it is part of a larger road that goes from the Atlantic Ocean, crosses all Europe and ends at the Black Sea. It's a wonderful experience. And it's also the Bulgarian part of it is known as the Friendship Road. Why? Come to Bulgaria and find out why.
Работя по часова работа. Работя по часова работа. To work a part-time job.
You can also работя по часова работа. To work a part-time job. Of course, you need some kind of money-making activity to support your other activities. It's better if it's a part-time job, not a full-time job, because otherwise you would not have any time for the other activities. Leave aside money. So here's how you can use this почасова работа, part-time job, in a sentence. Много студенти работят почасова работа. Много студенти работят почасова работа. Many students work a part-time job. Even though I am not a student, recording videos for you guys for BulgarianPod101.com is my part-time job. And I'm having so much fun with it. So bear with me because I have some more interesting facts about Bulgaria, the summer, and of course, other phrases to learn about what to do in the summer in Bulgaria.
Забавлявам се с приятели. Забавлявам се с приятели. To have fun with friends.
For the next phrase, you don't need the mountain, you don't need the sea, you don't need a lot of money even, because all you need is not love. All you need is friends. I think this is more true than love, because love comes and goes, but friendship stays forever. I do believe that. And to illustrate this, here is a phrase for you. Забавлявам се с приятели. To have fun with friends. How do you have fun with friends? In this sentence. Тя излезе навън да се забавлява с приятели. Тя излезе навън да се забавлява с приятели. Friends, приятели. She went out to have fun with friends. This phrase sounds like something my mom would say always when she has to reply where I am at the moment, because I'm always out with my friends. I'm a very sociable person, and the best way to spend some friend time is to have a bench party in the park or to climb one of my hometown's hills. We have 6 out of 7 now. Long story. I'm not gonna explain what happened to the 7th one, but just go up and hang around with your friends watching a wonderful view over the city. That's the best way to hang around with friends. Забавлявам се с приятели. Great! So we have reached the end of this episode of Bulgarian Pod classmate.101.com, and you guys now know 10 more things to do in the summer in Bulgaria. And not only that, but you know how to express them in Bulgarian language. For more of that, please subscribe to this channel and also visit BulgarianPod101.com for more Bulgarian. Also, let me know which of the things I listed so far you like the best, or if I have omitted something that I haven't thought of, please add it in the comment section below this video. My name is Daria, and I will be your host next time in our next linguistic adventure. Until then, stay safe and inspired about how to spend your time in the summer in Bulgaria. And please be very welcome to visit me in my country.
Do you like it?
Харесва ли ти? Харесва ли ти?
It looks great.
Изглежда страхотно. Изглежда страхотно.
I have no money.
Нямам пари. Нямам пари.
I want to go here.
Искам да отида тук. Искам да отида тук.
I'm looking for this place.
Търся това място. Търся това място.
It takes 3 to 5 business days.
Отнема от 3 до 5 работни дни. Отнема от 3 до 5 работни дни.
Could I have a statement, please?
Мога ли да получа извадка, моля? Мога ли да получа извадка, моля?
I'd like to exchange money.
Бих искал да обменя пари. Бих искал да обменя пари.
I'd like to make a withdrawal.
Бих искал да изтегля пари. Бих искал да изтегля пари.
I'd like to make a deposit.
Бих искал да направя депозит. Бих искал да направя депозит.
Sign here, please.
Подпишете тук, моля. Подпишете тук, моля.
Go back.
Върнете се обратно. Върнете се обратно.
Are there any annual charges with this account?
Има ли някакви годишни такси с тази сметка? Има ли някакви годишни такси с тази сметка?
I'd like to open an account.
Бих искал да си открия сметка. Бих искал да си открия сметка.
Does this hurt?
Боли ли? Боли ли?
I have a cough.
Имам кашлица. Имам кашлица.
I have a stomachache.
Имам болки в корема. Имам болки в корема.
I have a headache.
Имам главоболие. Имам главоболие.
I have a fever.
Имам температура. Имам температура.
It's already full.
Вече е пълен. Вече е пълен.
About 2 weeks.
Около 2 седмици. Около 2 седмици.
Is there something wrong?
Има ли някакъв проблем? Има ли някакъв проблем?
I'm here to visit family.
Тук съм на семейно посещение. Тук съм на семейно посещение.
I'm here on business.
Тук съм по бизнес. Тук съм по бизнес.
I'll stay at the Central Hotel.
Ще отседна в Сентрал хотел. Ще отседна в Сентрал хотел.
Have you ever been here before?
Били ли сте някога тук преди? Били ли сте някога тук преди?
It will snow on Friday.
Ще вали сняг в петък. Ще вали сняг в петък.
Tomorrow will be sunny with showers.
Утре ще бъде слънчево с превалявания. Утре ще бъде слънчево с превалявания.
Tomorrow will be sunny.
Утре ще бъде слънчево. Утре ще бъде слънчево.
What's the temperature?
Каква е температурата? Каква е температурата?
Is it hot in the summer?
Горещо ли е през лятото? Горещо ли е през лятото?
What's the weather like in winter?
Какво е времето през зимата? Какво е времето през зимата?
There will be heavy rain in the evening.
Ще има силен дъжд вечерта. Ще има силен дъжд вечерта.
There will be thunderstorms in the afternoon.
След обяд ще има гръмотевични бури. След обяд ще има гръмотевични бури.
It will rain in the afternoon.
Вали град. Вали град.
What bad weather?
Какво лошо време. Какво лошо време.
It's been raining all day.
Вали цял ден. Вали цял ден.
It's a beautiful day.
Прекрасен ден е. Прекрасен ден е.
So, what's new?
Е, какво ново? Е, какво ново?
Where did you go today?
Къде ходи днес? Къде ходи днес?
What are you doing tomorrow?
Какво ще правиш утре? Какво ще правиш утре?
How is your day?
Как беше денят ти? Как беше денят ти?
Where is everyone?
Къде са всички? Къде са всички?
What's for dinner?
Какво има за вечеря? Какво има за вечеря?
I'll be back tonight.
Ще се върна до вечера. Ще се върна до вечера.
Do you need anything?
Трябва ли ти нещо? Трябва ли ти нещо?
I'm leaving now.
Излизам сега. Излизам сега.
There's no toilet paper.
Няма тоалетна хартия. Няма тоалетна хартия.
The TV isn't working.
Телевизорът не работи. Телевизорът не работи.
What time is breakfast?
В колко часа е закуската? В колко часа е закуската?
Please forgive me.
Моля те, прости ми. Моля те, прости ми.
Really?
Наистина ли? Наистина ли?
Please?
Моля. Моля.
I'm sorry.
Съжалявам. Съжалявам.
Help.
Помощ. Помощ.
I like it.
Харесва ми. Харесва ми.
Awesome.
Страхотно. Страхотно.
I don't like it.
Не ми харесва. Не ми харесва.
What is it?
Какво е това? Какво е това?
Where are you from?
Откъде си? Откъде си?
How old are you?
На колко години си? На колко години си?
What's your phone number?
Какъв е телефонният ти номер? Какъв е телефонният ти номер?
What time is it?
Колко е часът? Колко е часът?
Long time no see.
Отдавна не сме се виждали. Отдавна не сме се виждали.
You're welcome.
Няма защо. Няма защо.
Thank you.
Благодаря. Благодаря.
This is for you.
Това е за теб. Това е за теб.
I'm good.
Добре съм. Добре съм.
How have you been?
Как си напоследък? Как си напоследък?
How are you?
Как сте? Как сте?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Съжалявам, че те накарах да чакаш. Съжалявам, че те накарах да чакаш.
Nice to meet you.
Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Приятно ми е да се запознаем.
Make yourself at home.
Чувствайте се като у дома си. Чувствайте се като у дома си.
It's difficult.
Трудно е. Трудно е.
Once again, please.
Още веднъж моля. Още веднъж моля.
Slower, please.
По-бавно моля. По-бавно моля.
I don't understand.
Не разбирам. Не разбирам.
It's okay.
Всичко е наред. Всичко е наред.
Don't worry.
Не се притеснявай. Не се притеснявай.
It It takes about 30 minutes by train.
Отнема около 30 минути с влак. Отнема около 30 минути с влак.
I want a bottle of water.
Искам бутилка вода. Искам бутилка вода.
I live in Los Angeles.
Живея в Лос-Анджелис. Живея в Лос-Анджелис.
My vacation starts in 2 weeks.
Ваканцията ми започва след 2 седмици. Ваканцията ми започва след 2 седмици.
I've changed.
Аз се промених. Аз се промених.
I won't do it again.
Няма да се повтори. Няма да се повтори.
This weekend I'm going to the movies.
Този уикенд ще ходя на кино. Този уикенд ще ходя на кино.
What are you doing this weekend?
Какво ще правиш този уикенд? Какво ще правиш този уикенд?
I'll have time next week.
Имам време следващата седмица. Имам време следващата седмица.
I'm busy this week.
Заед съм тази седмица. Заед съм тази седмица.
Ready to start?
Готови ли сте да започнем? Готови ли сте да започнем?
You're handsome.
Ти си привлекателен. Ти си привлекателен.
I'm having a great time.
Прекарвам си чудесно. Прекарвам си чудесно.
Would you like to dance?
Искаш ли да танцуваме? Искаш ли да танцуваме?
Where do you want to go?
Къде искаш да отидем? Къде искаш да отидем?
You look great.
Изглеждаш чудесно. Изглеждаш чудесно.
Can you come back later?
Може ли да дойдете отново по-късно? Може ли да дойдете отново по-късно?
Sorry, we're completely booked.
Съжалявам, но сме резервирани изцяло. Съжалявам, но сме резервирани изцяло.
We'll give you a call.
Ще ви се обадим. Ще ви се обадим.
I'll leave it up to you.
Ще оставя на вас да прецените. Ще оставя на вас да прецените.
Is this your first time with us?
За пръв път ли сте при нас? За пръв път ли сте при нас?
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.